Hello everyone, my name is Wade the Wallaby and welcome to a technology demonstration. We have this paper here and it's going to be talking about in the title, Small Mars Lander. I designed this maybe a couple years ago and I finally found it could be the final development of, of the spacecraft, and there was a lot of iterations of this lander. In fact, I actually was going to put this as a vote on Discord or the internet, but for some reason nobody accepted the vote, so I decided to put it to myself. And I already, after some planning, I think this might be the final one, as it's very realistic and has actual a proposals, as you can see here. So this is the small Mars lander. Now, what you're about to see here is the the diagram here. It talks about how it works. As you can see, now let's talk about uh, reentry. So this is how it will re-enter the atmosphere. This spacecraft here is basically about the same size as this here proposal. It has to be less than a foot of it, less of a foot of. So this is less than a foot. This might be probably the actual size. Up here we have entry. Once the spacecraft enters the atmosphere, it will actually pop up a parachute. This parachute, of course, will slow it down into a vertical position. The heat shield will permanently be attached to the spacecraft and cannot go out. Once the spacecraft reaches about 5 feet of the surface, the aeroshell will activate retrorockets and the parachute will basically deflate, or whatever you could call it. The high gain or the UAF antenna will has a spring loaded. It will have like little springs in it, and once the aeroshell is gone, it will automatically come out. As you can see here in this big diagram, the UAF. The spacecraft, of course, will land about 5 feet of the surface. The retrorockets are saw rocket boosters. They will activate at about 10 feet. Actually, maybe less than that. Their job is when the speed reaches zero, like null speed. The computer will tell the lander that it will actually initiate detachment. All the of telemetry will be on the aeroshell. The, the purpose is to make sure to use less debris as possible. Once it safely is on the surface, it would do a lot of experiments. The experiments are still working, but mostly temperature, humidity, pressure, wind, and all your essentials. Purpose is to have a small lander and cheap, and to see if we can drop multiple of these. You can see there is a arm. This arm comes out with a scoop that would take samples. As you can see here, there is a pipe that reaches into the computers. There's two cameras, one on the front and one on the back, which is highlighted, but it's in dots. As you can see here, there are two cameras. This is the battery. This is the main battery. It will actually be larger and covering up the whole thing. The solar panel is right here. There is the backup battery, which will be used for safe mode when the solar panel is blocked by something. It will basically collect gases into the chamber, allowing it to pressurize it and do experiments. The arm does have a camera able to do selfies. The spacecraft will, of course, have a microphone, because why not? Here's another side diagram of besides the early diagram. The ones with the X's you should ignore. The top version, as you can see, the solar panel is a bit larger. That is the antenna, that's the arm, and it's facing this way. Here's a side view. The side view, of course, has the arm and the antenna. The antenna is a bit more taller than the spacecraft itself. Does this idea seem to be okay? I think it's actually more accurate. The original one's going to be like an egg-shaped because it was going to be more taller, but I decided to make it shorter, and it seemed to be a little bit more better. This actually seems to be familiar to the Fox lander. on the Wolf Coyote spacecraft, which I am also working on, which will be the second spacecraft to Mars. The third one will be. There is a third one? I forgot. The third one, I don't know. I think there's just only 2 missions to Mars. Um, and so there's the arm camera experiments, 5 feet, and about 10 feet, it would actually initiate telemetry. But because to make sure it doesn't have any glitches, it will actually double check itself to make sure it lands. How big it is? Well, this is actual size. Maybe, hopefully, this is less than a foot, but this is the proposal. Now, this is actually a remastered version of the Deep Space 2 probes, which I can bring up on Wikipedia. I'll send you a link to on there onto the description. I'll send you a link and you'll learn about it. You know what? Hang on, I think it's this one. See here. I don't know. Oh, copy. I think I did it right. And I can edit the title. I guess it didn't copy it. Copy. I'll just do it manual. There it goes. Much more better. All right. Now you can click on the description of the live stream, and you can able to see this is based off of the spacecraft, and it will be more advanced. You can read about it. There's not much I don't know much about it. In fact, it even doesn't tell what the pictures are. I did a live stream before, but this is what may even look like the spacecraft, a bit more rigid, but it won't have the penetrator thing. It won't. It will be able to. It will have the aero shell, but it will actually have a parachute. It won't have the antenna. It won't have the drill motor. It won't have the thing that comes down. It won't have that, and it would actually have nothing. Would just be obstructed by the heat shield, which would be made out of a less than an inch or a centimeter of titanium, and above that will be there will be a short portion of graphite to make sure it balances out, and a tiny little area of the center of mass would be lead, which will make sure it has the center of mass on the bottom to make sure it doesn't topple over, and above that will be aluminum, which that will be the final one. The purpose is to make sure to use less pieces as possible. This idea I actually came up with. And the space, well, this is actually the lander. The orbiter will actually probably be used on a future proposal that I found on Wikipedia. Let's see. Where is it? Oh yeah, Mars Micro Orbiter, and it could actually be on this vessel. It's a 2015 NASA proposal, and this might be Mars Micro Orbiter, and it would be probably on board on that. There's no picture or anything, which is good. That means they're still in development, and I hope they can read this. You know, over time this might change, changes, but I may actually show you the original concept, but that will be another day. So the original design was going to be a weather station, and it was going to have solar panels on the side. But instead, I realized that solar panels on the side will only be when the sun sets and goes and dawn and stuff. So I decided to put the solar panel up top, and it would actually have a little windshield wiper to make sure it cleans it off because of dust, just in case. This spacecraft will be cheap. And the outside layer would actually be made out of mostly some other materials that I don't know, like what the Deep Space Two probes. It would actually be like this color, but you probably see the images on here. It would be that color, and or what material this is made of. Um, but yeah, this is basically could be called Deep Space Three, but it's actually called the Small Mars Lander, and it's going to be designed much more better than this, and it will actually survive on Mars much longer than this because this had no solar panel. Oh, but about this spacecraft, you know what? It talks about where it was from. It was from the Millennium Mars Probe Lander, which there is actually a old YouTube video from 2006 that actually shows you an emanation. If you go to my Mars 2 playlist, you'll be able to see it. Go all the way down, or somehow it's up to newest to oldest, or no oldest to newest. If you're lucky, then you might get it quicker. But yeah, I usually do that because you know what? It's my playlist. I get to play with it. It's mine. It's not yours. Now, I don't know what the launch date's going to be, but hopefully it's going to be successful. Which that's always your intentions. Yeah, this supposedly the Deep Space Two probe. It says new technologies, high impact and low temperature electronics, spacecraft, science instruments overview, blah 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 blah. We get that. So you guys can look at the description. Click the link. You'll be able to see what the actual, not actual, but the remastered version, the Deep Space Two probe. But obviously, it's not called Deep Space Two. But yeah, I guess I won't be leaving. All right, so I hope you like the concept. If you did, I appreciate it. And uh, it's not fully done yet. I haven't got the electronics and all that stuff, the physics and all that stuff. This is just a proposal. Maybe when I have some more technical stuff, it'll probably change over time to make sure it is better looking. It's just gonna. It almost looks like Huygens lander when it landed on Titan. The Cassini spacecraft had a little probe called Huygens, and it entered the atmosphere of Titan, and it was the farthest ever lander to ever reach a farthest lander ever achieved. And it had limited amount of battery, and it gave us a lot of information. In fact, it was actually not from NASA; it was actually from ESA. So it was actually, and yeah, Cassini mission was the best mission there was. It's just there was a ton of breakthroughs we made. So many moons. So many moons. SMM. So many moons. Yeah, seriously. There is a lot of moons around Saturn. Like a lot. Now I don't mean the main moons. No, I meant all the moons that orbit around it. You thought Jupiter had the most, but no. No, it doesn't. You're lying. Jupiter has 70 or something. I can't remember. But there might be more around Uranus and Neptune if we had a spacecraft orbit there or do another flyby. The only spacecraft that went by Uranus and Neptune was Voyager 2, and that only did a flyby and only gave this much information about the moons and the planets. Because it was called the Grand Tour, best mission ever. Not ever. I mean, Cassini was probably the best. Galileo, it had some problems. It did give us a lot of good pictures of the moons of the Galilean system around Jupiter. But that's not the purpose. This purpose is to go to test new technologies to see if we can drop small little probes and do little science experiments. It's like a CubeSat, basically. Which, so I like it. It's really cool. It has two cameras. Remember, it has two cameras. Oh, forgot the resolution. 780p resolution. Reason why it's less than 1080p because when you have something high resolution, when you're a tiny spacecraft like that, that takes a lot of information, and that's why it only stores a little bit of information. There might be it will use, of course, some electronics inside, like the telemetry. In fact, it could be so lightweight that it could be even moved from the wind if it's strong enough. I'm not sure. I'm not like a genius. Hmm. Uh, yeah, this would be much more realistic than the deep space tube probes. Oh, why am I talking about? Well, why not? Because no one barely talks about Mars polar landers. Like it failed. Yes, the Mars polar lander did fail, but it's just that's crazy that we have never found the impact site. Not even probably be impossible. Well, not impossible, but impossible, whatever you call it, to find these tiny little probes, deep space tube probes. I actually was sort of laughing at it before when I researched this deeply. It made me laugh because let's see on Wikipedia. It says somewhere it would enter the January 1999. Blah, blah, blah. Where is it? Impact. No, it says operation temperatures lower than negative 80 degrees Celsius. Oh wait, I have a calculator on here. Which, in fact, if you use a calculator, you can basically blah 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 on Windows 7. Shit. Where is it? Where is it? Where is the calculator? Calculator. All right. Oh yeah, you can also change the years by, I think, view. Oh yeah, basic unit conversion. Oh, I'm on here. No, it's scientific programmer statistics. No, it's standard unit conversion. Yes, unit conversion. Temperature. You can go by Kelvin, which is 3, which is so sorry, I'm just talking autistic. So Celsius and Fahrenheit. So let's try to negative 30 degrees Celsius is negative 22. That doesn't seem right. Oh, 80. Sorry. So you shut up. There we go. That's much more better. Negative 80 degrees Celsius is negative 100 and 100 112 or 112 negative. Really? Come on. But yeah, both of them failed. Why do I have to go this length just to do that? I don't know. It's ADHD. Bill, a range of 12,000 grams, apparently, or G's or grams. The translator said it was grams, but I think it's G's. G's, you really blend it. Oh, here it is. The plant surface over 179 meters per second, or 590 590 feet per second, which is ridiculous. I only can understand feet. I don't understand meters or kilometers. The only thing I do know is that I believe 0 Celsius is actually 31 degrees Fahrenheit. That's the freezing point of liquid water. Well, it's not liquid, it's solid. It takes time for body temperature. It was designed to penetrate as far as 2 feet 0 inches, or 0.6 meters, for you people that only know about the conversion. You order transmit UHF antenna, which is exactly what it is. Ultra high frequency. Mars Global Surveyor. Oh yeah, I remember about you. It lasts for like 7 years or something. The Mars Global Observer deck is a relay to order to send data collected back to Earth. The 2 sections of the probe were designed to remain connected via data cable. Good thing I'm indestructible. Yes, Francis, you are indestructible. Oh yeah. Let's see. If you want to learn about, you know what? hang on, let me check something. Spacecraft missions to Mars. If you scroll all the way down, what the link is, you can press spacecraft missions to Mars, and you'll learn everything about spacecraft at every single order, every single mission, date, including the moon. Well, that's length, but yeah, you'll learn every single mission. If you love Mars, Wikipedia. It has really good It organizes everything. Hope mission? I don't know much about it because there's not much information. Tinwin 1, that's from China. Mars 2020, Perseverance and Ingenuity. I had no idea. I just ignored them because, not as I don't like them. I mean, I just, but Opportunity and Spirit are the king of the rover. Actually, Opportunity is the king because it survived about 5,361 souls, which those are days on Mars. Basically, that lasted a lot. Spirit only lasted about. Oh yeah, it landed on January 4th, 2004. It launched on June 10th, 2003. Opportunity launched on July 8th, 2003. Landed on 25th of January 2004. So I was 3 years old, and the Spirit landed when I was 2 years old because my birthday's on January 15, and I basically did like that. I'm probably wrong. I didn't use math at all. I just basically just have in my brain. I guess this is part of the autism. I don't know. If you know about autism, please tell me. You probably don't know anything about it, which is great. You probably think that autism is a let's see, crap. You could say that, but it's not, unless if you really know how to use it. What am I saying? ADHD and autism do not mix up correctly, especially when you're very high functioning and understand of every single spacecraft. Actually, that's not right because I don't understand every single spacecraft because a lot of information doesn't tell you on Wikipedia. So I probably need to have a third-party website. Oh, is there a third party up there? Oh man. Third floor. Party is on the third floor. Oh man. Ha 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 ha. So yeah. Amazing design, Wade. You have made a machine of disparity. Ha 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 ha. What was that, Wade? You're crazy. You know what's crazy? I am. Well, crazy is actually someone that's like my. I said my sister. I don't have a sister. I don't have a brother. I'm an only child. My mom's sister, my aunt Denise. She is crazy, really crazy. She's the one that brainwashed me. I can't understand her. It keeps bothering me. We almost, you know what? Just want a restraining order of her and just give her out of my life. I want to see her in jail. She keeps telling me to go in SSI or to get your identity back. I could show you the recordings I secretly did. And okay, so oh yeah, Marco A and B. Let's see. You guys can find it if but if you really want to, then I'll do it. Put the link on there. Oh yeah, cameras. Cameras are the best. If you don't have a camera on your spacecraft, shame on you, because you can't see what you look like. And China's like, oh, we can do selfies in orbit. What? It's crap. I thought you were good at topography. That didn't sound right. My speech is terrible. You are very adorable little CubeSat. Are those your little engines folded up? The cold gas thrusters. Yeah, they're amazing spacecraft. They were CubeSats. Again, CubeSats. Huh. Ha! You should uh, you should do a stream criticizing Fluby. He's a Minecraft speedrunner who fake runs for frictional grin. Also, he never shows his face. Oh yeah. Whatever. I'll do that. I'll criticize everything. You know what my mom said? Never mind. Never mind. I'm just gonna probably go off subject. Wade, you always do that because you're crazy. No, Denise is crazy. Now you're just thinking inside and inside and inside and inside. And oh yeah, inside later. Okay, Wade, your ADHD is it's just horrible. You're just talking. Just calm down. Just calm down. Just relax. Let's just think this straight. I probably need my medicine. Because if I'm acting like this, I need my medicine. I'll be right back. I'm going to get my medicine. And we're back. Did I scare you? Oh, it's so cute. She's so happy with the female wolf. Oh, so cute. All right. So Wolf Coyote. Ah, yes, the tiny little spacecraft. So after this would be Wolf Coyote, which I probably had a separate stream, but I didn't. It's still in development. A lot of the stuff is still in development because I don't know which is final, which is not. But we get it. Mars orbital mission. At least they updated this. Bit more better quality. Why is it gray? Is it for some reason? Okay, I gotta go back. Mars orbital mission. Mission extended till 2022. That's this year. Whatever. Whatever. Is there one with the Titan? Viking 1 and Viking 2. Commercial Titan. Mars Observer. Commercial Titan 3. What is this? Space Shuttle Endeavour? Oh! Mars Observer failed. They say that the engines must have caused the problem. It was supposed to be an observer. It was sort of weird looking, and he was supposed to go to Mars, and probably so it. See, suspected failure could have been a power valve. Huh. Helium. So Mars Observer launched on September 25th, 1992. It was an orbiter, lost communications before resurgence. There was a lot of failures, as you can see here. Failure. Successful. Mars Global Surveyor. Mars Observer. Mars Global Surveyor. Successful. Mars 96. All failed. Never left low Earth orbit. Mars Pathfinder. Successful. And also was the first rover to operate on another planet, operated for 84 days. Surveyor, Mars Pathfinder. You've probably seen it on The Martian, and in fact, I criticize it because that is not Mars Pathfinder. I know Mars Pathfinder. It's supposed to look like this. And no, the camera does not extend and retract. No, it doesn't. It permanently has little struts on it, and there was a lot of things it was missing. It doesn't have any buttons. It was a lander. It had the antenna and stuff. Little tiny little rover. That was accurate, I believe. It had a little thing. It had airbags. Blah blah blah. Oh, I hate when those transgenders, whatever they're called, they make my stomach hurt, especially the male pregnants. Oh God, it hurts my stomach. It's just like, what? Why? It's impossible. How? Yeah, it's supposedly how I found out was on the furry things. But yeah, it's just doesn't make any sense. I think females are supposed to get pregnant. Not I just don't get humans. Wait, Wade, you're a human. Oh, no, I thought I was a elephant or Rockwell, but you'll never. Real life dictates there's no such thing as lycanthrope. You are correct. Nonzani was from Japan. Mars Climate Orbiter. Oh, yeah, it's just a good story. Apparently, approached the Mars close to it, but involving different units with, feet and meters. It uh, it entered the atmosphere and it didn't like it. And but it did take one picture of Mars on September 7th, 1999, and it failed. It's not one of my favorites. Mars Pole Lander, which I was actually just talking about. It had a microphone. It was supposed to have a microphone, and the pictures are cool too. Yeah, they're really cool. And it had Deep Space Two probes, which I was just almost talking about. And because the landing legs extended, it caused a malfunction, and it was supposed to be like a Phoenix lander back in 2007. It was launched on my lander January 3rd, 1999. So yeah, failed to no data transmit deployment from Mars Pole Lander. All failed. Penetrators failed. Just failed everything. However, there's only one spacecraft that is operational, and it is the oldest spacecraft that is still operating, Mars Odyssey. And guess what? It was launched on April 7th, 2001. I was months old. I was there. I was born in January 15th, so about a few months this was launched. Yeah, and guess what? It's called the Mars Odyssey. 2001 Mars Odyssey. In fact, it's actually the name Odyssey from the movie 2001 Space Odyssey. Good story about it. It's a really cool, interesting story for the rights to it. Naming. In August 2000, NASA solicited a candidate names for a mission. Out of 200 names submitted, the candidate close Astrobrala Jogarakasans and External Surveyor of Ares, a tribute to Ares, the Greek god of war. I thought it was Mars. Faced with criticism that the name was not compelling with aggressive of naming candidate Rover. Candidate name 2001 Space Odyssey had either been rejected because of copyright and trademark concerns. However, NASA emailed Arthur C. Clarke, in Sri Lanka, who responded that he would be delighted to have his mission named after his books, and he had no objections on had no objections. On September 20th, NASA Associate Administrator Ed Weller wrote on the Associate Administrator I can't read in Public Affairs recommending a name change for Ares to 2001 Space Odyssey. Peggy Lilly approved the name change. Isn't that a cool story? In fact, this is my favorite of the orbiters because it's from 2001, my birth date, and it was actually, I believe, it was actually a remastered version of the Mars Climate Orbiter because they're almost identical, exactly the solar panel and pretty much everything. Mars Express, from not from NASA, from United Kingdom and ESA, or European Space Agency. Mars Express launched on June 2nd, 2003. I was 2 years old. Wow, all this was happening. Yeah. And look, I go back. Oh, yes. Yes, correct, correct. All you are correct. I just read your things. You are correct. Um, it's weird. You can't get pregnant. It's impossible. Only women can. Unless if you're hermaphrodite. I don't know. I really don't care. I'm not. Hey, if you don't want to get fun of being a lesbian, just don't be a lesbian. If everyone was gay or lesbian, we can't breed because it's impossible. Even if you try, it won't work. Do they ever went to school? To be honest with you, you know what I was learned? The only way I learned how sex worked was when I was 13 years old, you know, it was a screeching noise every time they show a man naked. What? I learned this much. Nothing about how puberty works or how all that stuff. In fact, the only way I learned about how it worked was if my mom taught me everything except for my dad because he doesn't like to talk. But for some reason, mom and I'm not gonna get in detail, or else I'll have to make this 18 years old. But I learned about what uh, your inappropriate parts is. Um, yeah, there was this cool what's it called? It was a website. No, the simulation. It was like for college students to learn about the anatomy of the human body. And I said, I'm not gonna look at a female, and I'm like, okay, fine, I'll look at it. In fact, I learned so much. I didn't know the vagina was down there. To be honest with you, you know what? I bet you felt the same way. Why am I talking about sex? Wait, you just talked about spacecraft going to Mars, and then you're talking about. Oh, my sweet child. Oh, man, you are such a good boy. How did we end up here? I would have to look up my. I haven't seen the Scream movies, but I have seen Toy Story 2. Yeah, I love the airplane scene. Rosetta Spacecraft. No! Mars Express. Go back to Mars Express. After sex things. Enough fuel to remain until 2035. Oh, forgot Mars Odyssey. Mars Odyssey would remain in orbit until 2025. It has 3 experiments. Okay, Mars Express. Mars Express launched on 2003. Mars Express. Okay, it was an orbiter that from ESA, and it had a lander called Beagle 2. A dog. It's yeah, Beagle 2. But apparently it was actually MSS Beagle. What is this, a dog? Oh, beagles are so annoying. I never had a beagle before, but I've heard my mom tell me that beagles are the worst dogs to have as a pet, as a house pet. They bark every time. Because, what is wrong, computer? Are you okay? Don't glitch up on me. You're okay. Oh man, I'm so hungry. Well, then eat then. Okay, Beagle 2. It, no communications received data from the Mars Express. Orbital images landing site suggests successful landing, but 2 of the solar panels failed to deploy, obstructing its communications. Yeah, its landing is very rare on YouTube. For some reason, something about Transformers. Ah, yes, Spirit. Spirit and Opportunity. You probably heard about Opportunity, but Spirit. This rover here survived for a long time until it got stuck in the sand, or the Martian sand. And of course, it was, you know, yeah, blah, blah, blah. We're talking about dates. Rosetta, which is not a Martian spacecraft, it went to of 27P Gorisov-Gorbachev, the comet. That the comet thing that that spacecraft that went to a comet and landed. Yeah, that's the same thing. Rosetta and Philae. And it just went a gravity assist, and it did actually take a picture of Mars. Ah, yes. Dun, 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 dun. No, that's not it. Dun, dun. Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter, August 12th, 2005. I was 4 years old. Why does it always seems August? Or not August, or never mind. It's operational. Entered orbit on 10th March 2006. The Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter is really cool. It has the largest camera called the HERS camera, and it is the best camera. It's the largest one to Mars, and it's able to take pictures of detail, even spacecraft, even Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter. Okay, let's see. Opportunity, blah blah blah. But you already did. I don't care about that. I do care about that. I love you. Let's go back. I haven't. Hello, puppy or wolf, whatever. Phoenix. Yes, we were talking about Phoenix. So Mars Polar Lander, the 2001 Surveyor project, it was canceled, but this lander was repurposed for the Phoenix lander. Cool story. And the Phoenix lander went to the North Pole of Mars. Mars Polar Lander went to the South Pole. This one, of course, did successful in 2007. There's actually a YouTube video of it. Copyright. For some reason, Red Bull does not like this spacecraft. I don't know why. Red Bull just loves to copyright people of Phoenix spacecraft, even though it is owned by University of Arizona, NASA, Jet Propulsion Laboratory, and Lockheed Martin, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I don't get that. End of mission. What? Really? I thought it was in. Oh, declared. Last contact was on November 2008. 13 years? Oh, that was 13 years ago. Oh, okay. November 2nd, 2008. I was 7 years old. The 2010s. I remember those days, especially 2012 and 2013 and 14, especially 15. Oh, it's so beautiful. I found snow on Mars. Actually, it was snowing or something. I don't care. I do care. Why am I talking about every single spacecraft, even though you could just look up on here? But you know what? I'm bored and I just want to talk. Mars Science Laboratory. Oh, yes. The Curiosity rover. Ah, yes. Phobos Grunt. Oh, yeah, that failed back in 2011. 2011. Dawn spacecraft. Oh, yeah. The Vesta series. Mars Science Laboratory is one of my is one of those rovers that are still active. It's a giant rover, and it was in 2012. It was a big deal, and I hear someone talk. I think it's my mom. Oh yes, the Curiosity rover. They had a sky crane back in 2012. It it was launched on November 26, 2011, and it landed on August 6, 2012. Maven. There's also a YouTube channel of Maven. Oh, Mars Orbital Mission. Yeah, from India. Okay, so Science Laboratories operational, Mars Orbital Mission operational, Maven operational. So Maven is interesting. It's cool. Just blah blah blah. ExoMars 2016. Well, of course, it was the from ESA and Roscosmos, or Russia. Trace gas orbiter. Schiaparelli lander didn't go as well. Yeah, altitude lander crash. Although the lander crashed, engine after 5 minutes was successful retrieve. Oh yeah, yeah. It thought it already landed, so it just let's just land right now. Insight lander very successful. Be successful, and then Icarus Mars mission Hope. I don't know much about it. 10-1-1. I don't care about you. And then the final one, Mars 2020 Perseverance and Ninja 13 of July 2020. And did the first, blah blah blah. I don't care. And then okay, we're done here. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. I'll see you guys at the next live stream. See you later.